Best Python frameworks. What do Python programmers need to make their life easier? The answer is frameworks. By automating the implementation of redundant tasks, framework cut development time and enable developers to focus greatly on application logic rather than routine elements. Because it is one of the leading programming language, there is no scarcity of frameworks for Python. Different frameworks have their own set of advantages and issues. Hence, the selection needs to be made on the basis of project requirement and developer preference. There are primarily three types of Python frameworks, namely full stack, micro framework, and synchronize. Before moving to discuss the best Python frameworks to go for in 2022, let's first take a brief look into various types of Python frameworks. Types of Python frameworks. Number one, full stack framework. Such frameworks are a one-stop solution for all developer requirements. From generators, from validation and template layouts are usually available with a typical full stack framework. Micro framework. These are lightweight frameworks that don't offer additional functionalities and features such as database abstraction layer from validation and specific tools and libraries. Developers using micro framework need to add a lot of code and additional requirements manually. Asynchronous framework gaining popularity recently. Any asynchronous framework is a micro framework that allow for handling a large set of concurrent connection. Typically, an asynchronous framework built for Python uses the programming language Asyncio library. Best Python framework AIOHTTP. These type asynchronous framework AIOHTTP is a Python framework that relies heavily on Python 3.5 plus features such as asynchronous awaits. The Python framework make use of Python's Asyncio library and is hence a synchronous framework. In addition to being a server web framework, AIOHTTP can also serve as a client framework. It provides a request object and router to enable the redirection of queries and functions. Key highlights allow effectively building the views, middleware support, pluggable routing signals, support both client WebSockets and server WebSockets with callback help. Number 2, Bottle. Type of micro framework. Bottle creates a single source file for every application developed using it. It is one of the best Python web framework. The micro framework for Python was originally developed for building APIs. Other than the Python standard library, Bottle has no dependencies required for crafting small web application. One of the most important advantages of using Bottle is that it allows developers to work closer to the hardware. In addition to building simplistic personal use apps, Bottle is an apt fit for learning the organization of web frameworks and prototyping.